Yeah. All right. So, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, it doesn't have a name yet, but it's something.
Yeah, we're just here and, about to fuck shit up.
Type shit.
So let's start off from the origin story, Revelations.
Yeah.
Don 3:16. So we grew up in North Babylon, Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
We were really Sherm.
How long ago are we going back? Are we going back high school? Are we going back middle school?
We're going back to the hood, bro.
To the hood. Sandbox.
The sandbox.
Sandbox.
Fucking the trap.
Sandbox.
Yeah, man. When do we meet?
Eighth grade. Miss Foreman.
Yo, Miss Foreman, if you're watching this.
I tried to find out the name of her gym. But...
Oh, I went there.
Yeah.
It's Semper Strength. Yeah. Good gym. Go to Semper Strength. Yeah, that was what, English?
Yeah.
I still have bad English.
Me too.
It's all slang. I'm kind of like a soundboard. You just like press a button and like a line comes out.
Honestly, it's funny because running my business, every single time I send an email, I ask ChatGPT to revise it and like fucking fix it.
And then at the end, you write type shit.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. Dash by Nile type shit.
And then they're like, oh, this kid's actually black. Now it's all coming together.
Yeah.
And then, if you get a sale, it's just for diversity. So they don't look racist.
Type shit.
That's it. It works.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we met in 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's a fucking blur, man.
Yeah.
Everything's a blur from like 12th grade on, bro.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, like you get 2 years out of me. Like I can remember the last 2 years, maybe, and then like everything else.
I don't reminisce on the past a lot.
Yeah.
I really
me
don't.
neither.
Except for like college, but that just happened. Like I'm fresh out of college.
Yeah.
You're 21 now.
Uh-huh.
I'm 20.
Yeah.
Don't let the tats fool you. I'm a little boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tats and full fucking beard. He's got men.
Yeah.
But you got 2 neck tats now?
No, it's just one neck tat.
What about the crown or color? Oh shit, why?
Oh, come on. We know why. Where do I work?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is all classified information. If you're wondering what's going on, keep wondering because you're not going to find out. Anyway, left that life behind me.
Yeah.
No, I was fucking with you. Yeah, so what were you going to say?
No, yeah. That whole time period is like a blur. Like I remember like certain things, but it's honestly not important enough to think about, on a regular basis or, even like think reminisce about. So bullshit.
Yeah, I don't like when people talk about the past so much because there's so much going on in the present moment and like so much plans for the future. Like people just constantly like, oh, remember that time where this, that. I'm like, yo,
yeah.
What about the shit that's gonna happen or what's happening right now? I feel like people get caught up in the past and never move on,
It's funny because like that's like kind of life can be split up black and white that way, whereas you have people that are always looking ahead to the future, whether it's like positively or the kind of like bullshit people that are like, yo bro, like 2 years my shit's gonna be like this and that, and they don't really get it done. Yeah. And you have people that just reminisce about everything that was good, and now shit is just mediocre at best.
That's why we have like man-child.
Yeah.
Literally. It's crazy. Like some people just don't want to grow up. And I mean, I get it, but life as a man can be so good when you just put like a little effort in.
Yeah.
I think people don't realize how bad the competition is right now as a man. Like literally go to the gym 4 days a week. Commit 4 days a week to go to the gym. Don't eat like a fucking jackass. Tattoos help. Maybe grow a little beard if you're ugly.
Yeah, tattoos.
I'm beautiful. That's not what, I just happen to have a beard.
Yeah.
And if you work more than 40 hours a week, it doesn't really matter where, you'll do okay. So, assuming most people are living at home.
Mm-hmm.
you know.
I think this video is definitely going to be targeted more towards like, we'll say like 16 to like 25, and like that's a valid range to still be at home, living off your parents. Like if you're above that age, then you probably should have your own shit going for yourself. But
yeah,
you're allowed to be a bum at this point, until you get it together. But what the fuck did you say? It's an easy process to self-improve or to be better or like to beat out the competition. It's just a matter of knowing what to do, because like the biggest part is ignorance and shit. Like some people just don't know jack shit about.
Or a lot of people, they accept themselves as they are, which you really shouldn't. You should, I'm not saying hate yourself, but you should always be striving for better, because even the best people, like Michael Jordan was still practicing. He wasn't, you never stop that. You got to, especially as men, we're very analytical creatures. You have to analyze yourself like you're a video game character, because that's really all this is. Life's like GTA basically, except like I only rob people on the weekends. But it's like, okay, what makes a man high value? You have status, which is number one. I'm not really going in order, but status is number one. It doesn't matter. You could be like fat, broke, whatever. If you have status, you're gonna get recognized and someone's gonna fuck with you for that.
Yeah.
Status is number one. But you have your status, you have finances, you have your looks, you have social ability. And am I missing anything?
That probably covers it. My question is that what did you say it was?
Social.
Yeah, it's not that, but is this based on? You said how high value. Okay, is that based on? Was that your phone?
That was mine.
Okay, is that based on value with the perception of dating, or value in terms of just like life? Because I would put other things above
family, stuff like that. All right, we'll call it. Assuming we're talking to 16 to 24, that's really, you shouldn't really be worried about anything else other than that.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you haven't built anything of yourself yet. So it's like, to even jump into shit like that, it's like building a house on a crooked foundation. It might stay up or it might not.
Yeah.
It's 50-50. That's why, I recommend people stay single. Men stay single. I'm not speaking for women. Do whatever you want. I'm just going to keep listening to Future.
Yeah, get married at 18 if you're a woman.
That's right. And
lock them down.
If you hold hands with another man, get away. Go. It's wrong. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely terrible. But
horrendous.
You're pretty on the money, especially with the status is important, looks are important. I think again, like when it comes to overall, we're getting like philosophical versus just the very shallow parts of value. I think philosophically, of course, like looks matter, but not that much, and your social proof and shit matters, but not that much. But in terms of like dating, I would put looks like kind of high, like probably like number one for me, because you can be a bum, but if you look good enough, you'll always win to some degree. You might not marry a person, or you might not have that 401k that a woman's looking for to get married to,
but you could be Tyrone and Chad.
Exactly. And you're going to be forgiven for a lot more shit than if it were one of the other things that you had, but you were ugly. Like if you had status and you're trying to date, like there's only so much a person can forgive you for. Like, yeah, you're popular and, people like you and you're sociable and shit, but, somebody doesn't view you as more than them as much as if you're a pretty person or you look good. Like, for instance, for Don, his actions can be forgiven because it's like Don's better than me. You know, like as a woman, you would be like,
Oh,
Don.
talking about you. I was like, bro,
no, it's
like,
like,
goddamn.
it's like this. If I were a woman, it's like Don's better than me. He looks better than me. He gets more bitches than me, and I'm a bitch, right? He gets more bitches.
All right, everyone's fine now. Yeah,
he gets more, exactly. So it's like that can be forgiven if he fucks up, if he cheats, if he does anything like that. Like that can kind of be like, all right. I mean, like it's him. But if you just got status, it's kind of like, the fuck is this nigga bringing? Like, you know, bringing me to parties and that's it. Like,
yeah,
there's less to be forgiven. Like they'll end up doing something back to you rather than forgiving, you know?
It's also just, you know, this is a beautiful thing, right? When you don't have shit, you know you're not being used.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't have anything to be used for. As soon as you're famous,
yeah,
it's like, what connections are you actually getting out of people? You
exactly.
know? It's like, you're only with me because I'm whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, you're like, as an individual, you're fucking whack.
Yeah.
You know? That's like,
yeah,
it's better to be rich and famous, bro.
Pretty much. And you know, when your value is based a lot upon riches and status, people already know all your cards. You know, like you can't hide it. It's not like you can be, you know, rich and hide the fact that you're rich. Like pick a bitch up in a Camry, but really have a Lambo at the crib or something. Yeah. If you're attracting people because you're rich, you can't hide it anymore. If you're attracting people because you're handsome or something like that, I mean, you have that part, but you could also be fucking rich and people won't know it because they're attracted to you because of your looks and maybe other things also. And then the more you add on top of that, it's just like plus points. Like, you know, you just keep going. It's hard to add on to just like money, I guess, or, you know, status, I feel.
Yeah, I agree. And also too, keep in mind, there's very big downsides to being attractive, like as a man. You know, the pros definitely outweigh the cons.
Mm-hmm.
But as a man, like being attractive, a lot of people don't give you the time of day because they just assume you're a scumbag.
That's very true.
It's the truth, bro.
Yeah.
And say you know, you might like genuinely want a girl and really like her, she won't trust you to date.
That's true.
Because you see too, let's consider she sleeps around a bit. She'll sleep with you, but she's gonna go date Kyle because Kyle won't cheat, or you know,
she feels safe with Kyle.
Makes her look good.
Yeah.
Because that's what girls want. Like girls want to feel pretty. Mm-hmm. You know, if she thinks that she's below you attractive wise, because truthfully, she wants to be below you in other ways. Definitely physically. Like if your girl's stronger than you, that's probably an issue.
Yeah.
Definitely an issue. And even, I don't want to say intelligence, but we're going to say emotional intelligence. Someone she could trust to hold her feelings when crazy shit happens or if an intense situation happens.
I'd say intelligence too, though.
He said it, not me. I agree, though.
No, because like with intelligence also comes, you know, when I say intelligence, I don't mean book smarts or like, you know,
you mean get to the fucking bag.
Exactly. Yeah. Not even just get to the bag, just like the ability to cognitively think about everything, you know, like some people don't even have the capacity to think about how the world works. They just coast through it, you know, and then it's really easy to see them, but it's also hard to find people that are like, you know, sitting here wondering about the wonders of the universe and shit, you know, and it's not like everybody has to think about aliens or some shit like that, but, you know, just to have the ability to think beyond yourself, you know, it's kind of similar to faith that way, like with believing in God. It's like some people only think within them internal selves, and then some people think outside of it. So I think that, you know, that type of intelligence is definitely something that you should have.
Which, in a larger topic, and I don't want to go off on a tangent, I probably will. The biggest problem in our society right now is nobody is asking questions.
Exactly.
Things just happen and they're just like, everyone's mindless. We're all sheep.
Yeah.
You know? And even, look, as one man, like I could learn as much as I want about what's going on within, politics and just all the sketchy Hollywood shit. You can learn everything you want. It's too big for, just the average man to fight. You're not going to make any holes in the system doing it. But at least being aware of the things that are going on is a start.
Yeah.
You should at least be aware. And especially because at the end of the day, and this is a little later in life, we can't control what other people do. And what those other people do is what they spread on to their offspring. When you have a family, you could do your best to control what your kids think and be a good influence.
You can be. But also, like, in 2024, it doesn't really mean jack shit a lot of the time.
Because we're barely raising the kids.
Exactly. Yeah. And like simple shit like people not thinking about the fact that you spend more time at work trying to get to it than with your family is like fucking nuts.
And that's why, financial freedom is like the only hope.
Yeah.
Which is why, as much as I love just engaging in hobbies and doing things that make me happy and are fulfilling, as a man, like, you really have to put that stuff aside sometimes. And it's like, okay, what's going to put money in my pocket right now?
Yeah.
Because it's so important. There's no excuse to be poor.
No, literally. I mean, there's always an excuse. Everybody always has an excuse, but the point is definitely you got to get to it because like you have to go with the motions of the world, even if the motions are bullshit. You got to go with it. We have to pay for literally everything. We get taxed for everything.
Yeah.
But you can't really complain about it. You just got to go through it. But let's get back to like the original topic.
Yeah. See, I told you that was gonna happen.
Yeah. Fucking middle school and high school and shit.
I forgot we were even talking about that shit.
Yeah.
That's mad fun.
Yeah, middle school and high school. We were saying like we were mad shy and shit.
Yeah. All right, so we'll talk about what it was like, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've been lifting for a while. Like, we've always been in the gym.
Yeah. First time I went was going from 8th to 9th grade.
Whatever, me too.
Yeah.
And like, it was all, it was together. Like, we had time periods. It was never beef. Like, we were never, but we had time periods where we just didn't like hang out as much.
Yeah.
But like, we were always in touch. Like, this is always my guy.
And it's really weird. Like, all throughout the past, 7 years that we've known each other, we've always been on the same path without even fucking like speaking about it. Like, it'll be so weird. Like, we'll start watching the same YouTubers or like going down the same type of route or cleaning up our act or, kind of being degenerate a little bit here and there. And like,
Word.
it would literally just be at the same exact time. And it would be really fucking freaky, but that's how we knew that, our connection was kind of like divine in a way where it's like, you can't just find somebody that y'all are always just on the same wavelength, and yeah, like then 8th, 9th, 10th grade, we were on and off with speaking to each other, we were each doing different shit, but like he said, we were in the gym at the same exact time, just kind of going through the motions of high school, trying to learn and shit, but it was always like the same type of thing that we were just learning. We would like discuss about it and be like, yo, like, you're on that shit too. I'm like, yeah, you're on that shit. It's weird.
It's a beautiful thing too, because I mean, your brother's older.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you would be going through these things with him. And I don't even have a brother.
Yeah.
Oh, I have you. It's different. Yeah. Yeah. But it's men grow together, and you could try to do it on your own, and it can be done, but it's much easier when you have a support system like that, because even if it's just one person, at the end of the day, like, you can't talk to your mom about this shit.
Mm-hmm.
She's not even she's gonna give you horrible advice. Actually, most of the advice your mom's gonna give you, unless you're Niall's mom. Oh shit, who's on that?
It's fine.
Oh, okay, it's good. Something's wrong with the camera. We're good. Unless it's Niall's mom, because she's a G.
Yeah. And
she gave good advice.
It's so funny because like I didn't realize until like later on, you know, almost becoming an adult. Probably like when I moved back with her, because I wasn't living with her for like maybe like 6 years or so. But when I moved back with her, like I realized, yo, like she's a G, and like she really gives halfway decent advice for her mom. Like usually moms be on some emotional, let me like help you and shit. She's just like, she's the opposite. She's like, nah, get this shit done. Like, don't be a pussy.
Yeah.
You know, and like that's shit that you definitely need. And I don't know why she's like that, but she is. You know, could be a whole bunch of different reasons. But we won't get into that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Both of us too. I mean, we grew up without like fathers in the home, which is it is a bad thing for sure, statistically speaking. But when you come out on the other end of it better because of it, I think it's like a very, very good thing. Because what happens is most guys, they just end up like their fathers if they have a respectable father figure. You know, they look up to him, and they usually develop both positive and negative aspects of whatever he had going on. When you don't have that, you get to mold yourself into whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
And that's basically what we did. Pretty much. Sometimes it didn't go good.
Yeah, no, I mean, with that, it's definitely a sink or swim kind of situation, you know, like if any of you are unfortunate enough to not have a father figure like present all the time, or even a mother figure, you just got to realize that it's sink or swim. Either you're going to be an asshole and a crash out, or you're going to like make it work to the best of your ability and let it motivate you to be better, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people should start thinking about that more rather than just, you know, being emotional and like upset about the circumstance.
Yeah, and truthfully too, we've looked up to people in the past that were actually, they were somewhat good influences, but there was certain advice they gave that as I got older, I was like, wow, like we listened to that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So you really have to be very careful with who you're listening to, and use your best judgment. I guess it's hard when you have no guidance. Like, you really don't know.
Yeah.
But they're definitely out there. Camera's good, right?
So I put that around so I know that when the camera actually does. It was just,
why do you think it's on there?
Nah, it was just a screen like that.
Yeah. Where did you leave off from, you know, like us going through the same stuff?
Oh yeah, I mean, like it was just always weird. But yeah, I mean, just to get back to actually what it was like in school, you know, because middle school, high school, it's all the same shit. But I was pretty lame. I mean, I wasn't like lame as in, you know, running through the halls.
Yeah,
and shit.
we weren't like anime kids.
Yeah,
you know?
but it was like, you know, I'm not hanging out with the popping groups and shit. And
we weren't
going to parties or anything like that. You got to go to like some with your cousin and shit, but I'm not sure how many you got to go like in school.
Yeah, not so much in the hometown. I did have an older cousin who kind of helped get me out of my shell when I was younger, but nah, definitely not in the hometown.
Yeah.
And I mean, for different reasons too. I was out of school for a very long time with I had a hip issue growing up, so I'm not gonna get like so much into that. But I did miss a lot of school, and I did miss like maybe I was 12-ish. Up to that point, you know, I was probably out of school from like 9 to 12, which is a pretty developmental age. So like when I came back in, my social skills were fried. Yeah. And physically I was fried. Like it was just all whack as fuck. But you know, like high school's so cliquey, and it's like when you get thrown into that,
Yeah.
and you're not part of any clique because you just came out of nowhere, it's like it's hard to get into stuff, you know. Even if you are cool, groups don't take people in like that,
Yeah, no.
you know.
No, yeah. And also like for me, I didn't want to be a part of those types of groups just because like I was very strong minded about, the type of people that I was hanging around to a degree, and something about their energy just never gave me, I should trust these people and
Yeah.
be around them. Like I remember actually like one of the first days that I ever came to North Bab, 7th grade, uh, the table had invited me over to sit with them and I did for the first day. And then I was just like, yeah, nah, like I could already tell.
Yeah.
Nah. So, like the opportunity was there to be cool with them or whatever, but you just get that feeling, that gut feeling, like I shouldn't be around these types of people. You could already tell that they're on the bullshit.
Yeah.
It's just like, nah, I'm cool.
And some people just have it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've always had it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like be holier than thou. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like we're different. You know when you have it when you're in a group and you think everyone is literally the fucking same.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like everyone's the same. No one thinks for themselves. Same personalities. They all like the same shit each other like. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Like
it's fucking nuts.
Yeah, we've always been into like we've always had hobbies outside of going out and stuff like that. Like it's for both of us it was music too.
Yeah, exactly. It was definitely making music for me. And that was pretty much my whole life, all the way from like 15, 16 to like maybe 19 or so.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't have that. It was high school bullshit, like I'm gonna smoke after school or, whatever the fuck they did. I don't even know, because I wasn't there. But we weren't really a part of any type of a specific clique or whatever. Like, sure, we were cool with some people, but it wasn't like that was our designated group that, that's my guy. It's kind of just like, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I dap him up in the hallway.
Exactly, I dap him up. Maybe sometimes we'll walk together to the pizzeria, but like that's
but I
it.
won't hear from them Saturday night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we were never cliquey like that.
But greatness, happens in that silence too.
Yeah.
Isolation before transformation, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
We were so isolated, especially I moved a town over and I lied about my address so I could keep going to the same school. But at that age, nobody's, we don't have cars.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone wants to go like ride their bike somewhere, I was 2 towns over.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything but just be there with myself. And it's what you do in those hours when nobody's watching that's what develops you. That's everything.
That one. Yeah.
That's everything.
And I actually never thought about that.
Yeah, man.
That you were that far.
But you were relatively isolated too.
Yeah, but that's always been my personality.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a forceful thing. Like, I couldn't do it.
You never liked people.
Yeah,
never liked fucking people ever.
never liked them. Never liked hanging out. So it was just like it wasn't an issue for me. And still to this day, like, I don't hang around people. I don't go out. It's never an issue for me. Like I'm kind of cool where I'm at.
Yeah.
So never thought about that you were so far away from everybody and like couldn't even until you got your car though. That was senior year or was that 11?
That was senior year.
Oh, okay.
And that
we
had a good time senior year.
Yeah, senior year
that was an interesting era.
Yeah, senior year was the first girlfriend that I got.
Howard.
I was dating her for like the majority of the year up until like honestly around my birthday, so May. Then like she ended and everything, and then like
it was rage.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and that was kind of crazy, but
which is such a crucial thing to develop. Some guys never get it.
Yeah.
They just get fucked with until they die, or they just end up in a marriage where they're unhappy with a girl that doesn't respect them at all.
Let me ask you this, because this is one thing that I always think about my whole, transformation. What was the video or book that kind of transformed you and made you?
Oh wow, that's a great question.
Because I know mine.
I know mine.
Yeah,
I know mine.
All right, what's yours?
So, I think. No, I don't think. This is what happened. I went from two extremes. I went from like really fucking nice to,
Absolute.
Yeah, I was being a fucking douchebag.
Yeah.
I was being a piece of shit. Not like I wasn't hurting people, you know what I mean? But like just the way I was interacting.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'd be a dick to get girls.
Yeah.
And I was doing that. And
to the highest extent.
For the record, it works.
Uh-huh.
But that's not the type of, on a deeper spiritual level, it is so draining. And it's so, you don't know what's right and what's wrong anymore.
Yeah. It's because you're being like kind of not
shallow.
Authentic.
You're being
you're not being authentic to yourself.
Yes.
Because you know who you really are, but you know how you have to act to get what you want.
And it's horrible.
Exactly. It makes you feel terrible inside.
Yeah. And then say you actually like someone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I can't even express it because all I am to her is, a walking dick.
You set yourself up for failure in that way.
You really do.
It just fucking sucks.
You can't win. You can't win like that.
Yeah.
So, tying this into the book, I read a book called King, Warrior, Magician, Lover, and it's a masculinity archetype book. So it basically breaks down each section of masculinity. You have the king, which is everything kind of grouped together. You have the warrior, which is the structured, more hard competitive type of masculinity. King, warrior. Okay, then you have the magician, which is the thinker. You have the king, warrior, magician. I have to go through lover, and then the lover is the softer side. Which by lover, it doesn't necessarily mean relationship lover, while that is part of it. Lover is like your expressive side for art and music, and your like emotional intelligence side. And it shows a chart that breaks down where you are. I was way too in my warrior side. I had no lover side. And I was a bit in the magician, it was more like probably 30% there, but I was really, really in the warrior side, and I had to learn how to balance it out. And it took a lot of time too, because like I was saying before, you don't have any examples. You don't know what a man's supposed to be like. You just know what you hear.
Yeah.
So that book definitely, it allowed me to analyze where I was. I took a bunch of notes on the book itself and where I was. And then I tied it all together. And eventually, now I'm still a dick.
Yeah. Wait, so that was, because I got to get the timeline right. When was that when you read that?
I'm going to say that was freshman year of college. Okay. Maybe a few months in.
Okay.
And it's not like I read the book and it just all changed.
I was more referring to the book that changed your mindset from little kid, 15-year-old trying to fall in love with every girl to knowing about female nature and everything like that. If it was a book, or
I have to say it was YouTube.
YouTube?
For sure. It was definitely YouTube.
Who is the YouTuber that did it for you, that made you really like think about it and realize it?
Stuff is cold.
Yeah.
I'd say. But that whole thing, like the whole Steph is cold, AMS, like Alpha Male. Yeah. There's definitely more that I'm not naming. All right, we'll just call it Steph is cold.
Yeah.
It definitely brought me to a more red pill rage is what people call it. I just call it, being a dick.
Yeah.
It definitely brought me there, and it took me to the extreme, which what happens to a lot of times we know more than we do. Like you can learn so much that you don't take action on. And I was at a point where I knew so much, but I haven't really done much. And then I started doing things and I was like, oh, that's why. You put stuff together when things actually happen.
Yeah.
It's different when you put it into practice and you're like, wait, this is actually like kind of wrong,
Yeah.
to like treat someone like that. You don't feel good about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what was it for you?
The one that just taught me everything that like, there were like little hints throughout high school, like little, you would see the gangbanging dudes pull all the girls and it was just like how the fuck, like,
wow,
just, like you would see little things and there would be little clues to it. But you didn't know anything. Mm-hmm. But the book, because it was a book that really taught me everything. And it was the videos that led up to it. The videos that led me to it was actually Austin Dunham. He was like, he was definitely the one that introduced me to it. And then I remember this so vividly. It was during a gym class with you. You said, "Do you know Steph is cold?"
Holy shit.
And I said, yeah, as if I did. And then I looked it up. I was like, Steph is cold. And I was like, I have seen his videos before, but I didn't actually like pay attention. So once you asked me, do you know Steph is cold? And I actually paid attention to who he was. I went through like fucking at least 20 videos straight.
Yeah, man.
And then I was like,
that's
damn.
funny.
Yeah, I was like, damn, this is sauce. Because Austin Dunham is like, he just talks about being pretty and like, different shit like that. Like how to like look smacks kind of.
Yeah.
But Steph is cold was like actually like saying game shit, like he was like really like saying like this is how they act and this is what they do.
Yeah.
And then I got referred a book called No More Mr. Nice Guy.
I knew it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because I read that too.
That's the one, bro.
That's the number one rage book.
That's the
that's it. No more Mr. Nice Guy. That's mad funny.
No, but like it opened my eyes to everything because I was so in like this blue pill and like, there's remnants of it. Like I had the Vampire Diaries on earlier. It's a love fucking series. Like my whole life has been fucking filled with this desire for love. Like I used to write down as a little 14-year-old kid, like my only dream in life is to fall in love and shit like that. I was like a fucking beta.
I miss your old Snapchat stories too.
Yeah.
He would have like the Bart Simpson edits.
Exactly.
Yeah, we didn't forget about that, bro.
That's crazy.
There's no moving on, bro. You're still that.
Yeah.
I'm fucking with you.
But nah, like I was just like all lovey-dovey and shit. And then that first relationship, once I started to see it go downhill, I was exposed to the red pill, and I was just like, this is like so true. Because with my lady that I was with then, there was a point where she was just treating me like a total asshole, and I just let it happen because I was like, this is the best thing I got so far. So like, I'm gonna just let her like run me over. But then one day I asked her, I was like, I feel like you think I'm a bitch. I texted her that. She said some shit like, maybe you are, or like some shit wild where I was like,
bro.
Yo,
I put the fucking crisp on.
Yeah, I was like,
that's crazy.
I was like,
that's crazy.
9 months in, and like of course, it's like I was fishing for it because I'm like, I asked the question. I feel like you think, and then she said like, maybe you are, or some shit like that. I'm like, yo, what? At that point, I was done. I was like, fuck.
And that's what I'm saying. You can learn as much as you want until it happens. That's gonna show you.
Yeah, bro.
That's gonna show you.
That shit happened. Then I was just done. And then like from there, I was hurt. I was crying in school for like 2 days. Like,
I remember that.
Yeah, I got like pictures in my phone of like me with like red eyes and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like every time I'm scrolling back to like a earlier date in my phone, I always pass by that picture. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
That's actually mad funny. took pictures, bro. I've never been that down bad.
I only took one picture. There's only one picture, but I was just like, what the fuck is this? But nah, like after that, I cried for the 2 days. I was all sad, distraught. I knew shit would always come. Like, you know, I was hanging out with Alec, and we were in the car, and he was he was with some other dude, and like she was texting this other dude saying, sorry, like, you know, I had to block you because my boyfriend was controlling and shit like that. And I'm like, see, this is the shit. They'll wait until right after. It only been 2 days or some shit.
Hey, bro, what I say beginning of this podcast, bro?
I don't even remember. What did you say?
About the dog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, like I found out that she had texted the dude or whatever, and I was about to like start tripping out. But luckily, the dude that she was texting actually said to me, he was like, she ain't even worth it, bro. Like, don't even trip about a girl. Like, the nigga that I was kind of mad at was telling me, don't trip about it. Like, if she's doing it, she's not worth it. Yeah. I'm like, that's facts. And then that was the moment when I was kind of like done with my little crash out phase or whatever, where I was trying to do a whole lot. And I was just like, all right, time to lock in. Then I read that book, and then we started going out to the malls and shit like that.
That was a big time period. Mm-hmm. This is like crazy to talk about, because now looking back, I'm like, we really went out of our way to do that. But it was necessary.
It was necessary. The thing that's so crazy though is just how much we got done in such a short period of time, bro. Like, for me, the relationship ended in like the middle of May. From then till like maybe the end of June, because it was like end of the school year to summer, we were doing like a whole bunch of shit, and it was just
crazy. Really did. It was a lot. Like, still doing things with anxiety, you know. And like, I'm not gonna be like, you know, use mental health like crazy, you know what I mean? But it like, it's the truth. Like, I don't want to say anxiety, be nervous. You know, you're supposed to be nervous. That's how it goes. Yeah. Do it anyway. You know, like whenever you're nervous about something, it's like the only way to get over it. You got to rip off the Band-Aid, you know? But yeah, me and this kid would go to the fucking mall. We'd literally leave school sometimes. Yeah. Because we had COVID our senior year, and they didn't take attendance. So I'd be like, yo, we're out 5th period. Yeah. All right, cool. Go out the back entrance. No one saw us. Drop a smoke pellet. Grapple up. Look over Gotham. Yeah. Get in the Batmobile. Go to the mall. And be like, yo, all right. Yeah. Time to run down.
Exactly. We would just run down. It was like, none of them went anywhere for me. But it was just the fact of like, you know, just putting in that effort and that work to put ourselves out there and just learn and like test shit out.
Yeah.
You know,
it wasn't supposed to go anywhere.
Yeah, no.
It really wasn't.
No.
Like, I'd never, so we were going to like go hang out. You know? Yeah.
It was just like, you know, never did it before, but gonna fucking try it.
Yeah. And so this is the advantage of, I always say my greatest advantage is disadvantage. All these guys who I grew up with in high school and whatever, they've always had cliques. And this is why status is number one with getting women, because you'll always be able to get with a girl within your clique, because she's not going to branch out to go hang out with another group. Mm-hmm. So if you're in a group of 5 guys and they're all like 4s in men's standards, and you're a 7, but you have a group of girls that is like bad as fuck, you're going to get the baddest one, because you're a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
But you never have to learn how to really talk to those girls, because they could just be friendly and they're going to get with you either way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Relatively friendly. Don't be a pussy. But that's how high school is. People get with guys because they're on a sports team, whatever. We didn't play sports. Yeah, I wrestled, but like, that doesn't get you any pussy at all, ever. It's actually like the worst sport for it, probably.
I fucking stopped sports in like middle school. I was like, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah, bro. Fucking staying after school.
Fuck that. Bro.
Fuck that. What was I saying?
Big fish, little pond.
Yeah. So then it's like you never develop the skills to actually go up to a girl you've never known before and like actually have to do it. But we did. And like that's what we had to do. And then you realize the guys in high school, after they fall off, after they graduate, they just end up falling off with all the girls that they were with, because then those girls go to college and join sororities or whatever the fuck you call them.
Yeah, ride the cock carousel.
And but they're no longer like part of their group, so it's done. They never actually fucked with you for like who you were. You were just convenient.
Exactly, you were available.
And that's what you were saying before about status.
Yeah,
you're only as good as the scenario you're in when it's status.
Yeah,
but that was the main thing that really put us ahead too, was that we had to learn on our own and develop on our own.
It's kind of like throwing ourselves into the deep end,
Yeah.
Like realizing you're like you said, disadvantaged, and then immediately kind of going after and trying to fix it or develop it,
Yeah.
If you can't fucking speak to girls, or you never even had the opportunity to fucking go outside and do it, And that shit is tough at first, but you get good at it, or you get more confident with each approach, and
you get good enough.
Yeah, you get good enough. Because that's the thing, is the bar is so fucking low. Like
so fucking low. That's what I'm saying.
No guys go out to approach or whatever,
bro.
And it's like, if you just go out to a girl, they'll be happy enough with that shit. Like the bar is so low.
Yeah. Well, like keep in mind, some of these girls' egos are so crazy that she could be in your league if you have any, self-awareness. Like you kind of know where you are, and she'll still be like, she'll fucking clown you. But if she clowns you for making a genuine attempt of getting to know her, she's a fucking trash bitch either way. You don't even want to fuck with her. You know what I mean? So, yeah, like you were saying, man, it's like you gotta throw yourself out there. If you get denied, hey, bro, more fish in the sea.
Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta approach everything from abundance. That's like the number one with anything in life too. People who all they do is stress about money, never really have any. People who always stress about women never have any.
Yeah.
Abundance is everything.
Yeah.
And it's a mindset.
That's a good reminder. I need to remember that shit.
Yeah. Well, because like someone's getting killed outside, I think. Yeah, we're doing a podcast.
Yeah, shut up.
I'm just kidding. Disrespectful.
Yeah.
Fucking up the groove, man. Ain't no way.
Yeah, ain't no. Anyways, what are you saying?
I don't know. I'm about to go get the shotgun. Like, I can't even focus, bro. Like, why is this kid screaming?
I don't even know. Hold up. Oh, the battery's gonna die.
We're rolling.
Yes, sir.
All right,
we're back.
Back at it.
We're live on the air.
All right. It was your phone. It's all right. More important shit right now.
Exactly.
Word. Anyway, where we leave off?
I don't remember.
All right, let's just go down the timeline. We're at senior year now, right? I'm back. All right, let's talk about this. I was not going to go to college. The fact that I went is like crazy to me because I've been relatively against college. It's definitely a scam. I don't regret going because, it's like that's the only time in my life that I'd ever get to experience that. And I only went for 2 years to a SUNY, which is like, if you're watching this out of New York State, it's a State University of New York. Yeah, I definitely don't regret going. I learned a lot about people, and I definitely developed more, but I would probably say it would have been way better if I just stayed home, because you stayed home and you were able to like work on shit, and you worked a job.
Yeah,
you bought equipment.
I did. I did.
And you were isolated.
That's a plus.
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, obviously everything happened for a reason, because I was pursuing music full time and I wasn't really getting anywhere with it. But, you know, I had the opportunity to just go after it. If I was interested in what I'm interested in now, like video production and photos and all that shit, it may have been a different situation. But I also think that it was definitely a good learning experience for so many reasons, to understand like what it's like to be at like zero, like bummed straight, no cash in my pocket, hungry. Like I've always done the same thing. Like I eat the same thing every day, like bowl of oatmeal and fucking like dog shit food. But like then it was really bad. Like I would eat fucking like 2-3 cups of just like oats and then ramen. Like oats would be my breakfast.
Health
ramen,
is wealth.
Yeah, ramen would be my dinner every single day, and straight just that. Sometimes I would have like a can of tuna, but
that's on special occasions.
Exactly, but like that was like really my entire diet. It was that, and then going to Planet Fitness, and then at one point I was so broke that I didn't pay to go to Planet Fitness. They would just do like the little overdraft thing to my card, but my card would have nothing on it. So like I would just keep like getting these overdraft charges over and over again. And I was just going to Planet Fitness for fucking free. And I was jacked, but I was fucking poor, broke. Because, you know, I come from a family of especially also my mom. She was like, look, chase your dreams and like go after it. You know, it's okay to be broke right now. You don't have to have money. Like, you know, this is a part of it. This is the struggle and shit like that. So I was like, all right, I don't have to work. I could be broke. I'm just going to chase my shit. And so that's exactly what I did. But that shit was also miserable because I was hungry, on the borderline of crying all the time, because like I didn't have shit other than my equipment and I wasn't making any money from my music. So it's like that period of time where I didn't go to college or whatever, it was a blessing because I got to chase what I wanted to, but it was a curse because I had to struggle. But that's also a part of the growth process of struggling. Yeah. You know, it's always just a stepping stone. So I think that, you know, for me, I definitely still wouldn't go to college either way, but it would have been nice to have more clarity on like my path in the future.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And a big part of life from what I'm seeing is just getting comfortable with not knowing what the fuck is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because things could change like that. Like nobody expected, I don't even know if we could say it. You know, the super flu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like you can't plan for stuff like that. Like life is so spontaneous that it's just to think you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't.
Crazy. Yeah, you have no idea. You have no idea. But you know, if you're persistent enough, I think good things happen to people who work hard consistently, or at least you're more likely to get lucky.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like it eventually something's going to stick. Something will eventually stick.
No, yeah, that's a fact.
One thing you said too was that, you know, and I respect the fuck out of your mom for that too.
Mm-hmm.
For not telling you to go work and to pursue your dreams, especially, you know, if you're watching this and you're young, now's your time to, you don't have to worry about how much money is in your bank account yet. As long as you have enough to feed yourself and to keep pursuing the things you want to do, whether you have to get equipment for whatever that is, or, you know, fund, whatever it is, whatever you have to do, as long as you have that, now's your time to pursue it. Because what happens with a lot of people is they start working fresh out of high school.
Yeah.
They have passions that they put to the side. Then they turn around when they're 30 and they're like, damn, I wish I would have just, you know, gave that a try. Because at the end of the day, unless you make it in entrepreneurship, you'll be working till you're dead.
Yeah.
And you can't trust these companies to, you know, give you a proper retirement plan. Policies change all the time. You can get fired for the dumbest shit, and you're disposable. You really are. You're disposable. The first thing you do when you work for a corporate company and you get hired is you get an ID number, because that's what you are. You're a number.
That's facts.
That's it. Like, that's all you are to them. So people who have this weird loyalty to companies that barely know you exist, I don't understand.
Yeah.
They'll take all that. They only like you because you do what's asked, and they could take that away at any moment.
Yeah.
Financial freedom is the only hope.
Yeah, and that's not to say that, you can't do a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely not for everybody, or being an entrepreneur isn't for everybody. That's a shit ton of work, and
it's harder.
It's harder. It's a 24-hour fucking job, and you're emotionally attached to it. That's your baby, and like, if it fails, that's hurting you. Like, if the company fails, who gives a fuck? Like, I'll just go find a new job. But if you're trying to be an entrepreneur or a business owner, that shit is fucking hard. And like, everything that happens, if somebody rejects you, that's personal to you. That's why for me in my business, it's hard for me to cold call, because if somebody says no or get the fuck out of here, then it's like, damn, like, that kind of hurt me. But if I was doing it for somebody else, if I'm selling soul or whatever, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm just gonna knock on the next door. So definitely entrepreneurship isn't for everybody, but financial freedom should be a thought process, because it sucks to be broke, and it also sucks to be a slave to somebody for the rest of your life.
Now, with all that said too, and I'm finding this to be a very new thing where everyone wants to be an influencer, everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, which nothing wrong with that. We're literally making a fucking video right now.
Yeah.
The world needs plumbers, the world needs electricians, the world needs somebody to work a fucking register.
Yeah.
Don't be ashamed to work those jobs. And if you are, for guys, say you're in a trade and you're at a workplace where you wake up every morning and you're happy to go there and you're appreciated, and you trust your boss enough that he's not just gonna tell you to go fuck yourself one day, and you get enough pay that you could live the lifestyle that you're content with, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I really, it drives me crazy when, you got guys like Andrew Tate, regardless of what you think about the man, he calls people like wages and like brogies and shit. These are the same people who just built your mansion. It's, these people make the world go round, and we're losing that because everyone's ashamed to work a job. And there's also a very, very big imbalance with how money is being circulated. When you could have a man who just works 60 hours a week on a construction site, and he just made $1,500 if he's lucky.
Yeah.
And then you have a girl who just posted her ass on social media and she just made $20K.
Yeah.
It's so discouraging. It's like, what the fuck am I even working for? But that's why self-development's everything, because we'll never pay for nothing.
No.
Never fucking pay for anything.
Yeah.
And
you know what? Also with that is, your location does matter when it comes to this, because even somebody like Jay Waller, who's from like, the South or whatever, he's all for, fucking working a job and shit like that. And when I was down in Alabama, because I spent some time down there, there was never any shame with somebody working a fucking job.
Very true.
Like, because we're in New York and we're in this, tech fucking softy area and shit, where everybody's behind a desk or, doing some type of marketing, business development job that's super gay. That's super, not cool.
Gay.
Super fucking gay. It's like, we start to think that doing the labor intensive work isn't cool, or it's not worth it. But again, like he said, that shit is so important. Like, none of this shit would work. We got a maintenance guy in this apartment complex. You think I fucking know how to do half the shit that he does? I just asked Donald, because Donald went to school for construction and shit. I just asked him to help me put up the fucking TV, because I can't do that shit. I'm sure if I like, got the tools and read the directions close enough, I'd be able to do it.
Yeah.
But he's fucking.
It's all instruction.
Yeah, like he already has the skills to do it without having to look at the instructions if he had to, and like we need people with skills, and that's honestly just the path to money. But outside of that, we're all getting these real soft skills that are like, fucking typing, and like I'm trying to work on like how to learn how to market people, but the fuck is that gonna do for somebody in the real world,
Right. But that's your game.
That is my game. Yeah.
That's your game. There's certain people in this world,
Yeah.
and all those certain people are needed. And that's why everyone has a different passion. A lot of people, I think they fantasize off of the image of other people, which is why you have everyone who wants to be an influencer or like a SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah.
And it's because they see that and they're like, oh my God, that life is so flashy. Meanwhile, they're not even passionate about what they're doing. They're just in love with the image of what it brings.
Yeah.
And that's like the worst route you could ever take with anything, because that's the 1%. You're only seeing the flashiness. You're not seeing that 10% is music and 90% of it is marketing.
Yeah.
And you're dealing with labels and people screwing you over, shit like that. People are in love with the image, and that's why social media is such cancer, because you're only seeing the 1%.
Yeah.
These people don't wake up on yachts,
No, yeah, that's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts. No, yeah. We definitely have to start to kind of get out of this whole social media type mindset where we're just looking at the highlights and thinking that should be our reality 24/7.
It's a fantasy.
No,
Yeah. It's a fantasy.
but I mean, it's okay to fantasize, but it's also good to have clarity of what the fuck is actually going on in the world and how it works, and what's okay and what isn't. You shouldn't strive for it's almost like people that strive for happiness.
Yeah, and that's why I said something along those lines earlier. As much as I like to do things that make like me happy, I guess, life is much deeper than being happy. Like they're saying happiness is for women and children, which is pretty funny, but
it's pretty true though.
It is relatively true. Like, not saying you shouldn't be happy as a man, but it comes relatively last before anything else.
It shouldn't be a priority for you.
Fulfillment should be a priority. Doing something that you wake up in the morning and it's like, this gives me purpose.
Yeah.
I know people who love cars and they love fixing cars. They become mechanics. They wake up every day and they're like, this is it. Like, I may never be a millionaire off of this, but I'm needed. And I think the main goal, as far as I don't want to say in life or in male life, because there's also family, but as an individual, we'll say striving point, the main goal is to be exceptional at something. You want to be in exceptional shape, because scarcity makes things important. If everyone had a 6-pack, no one would give a fuck about having a 6-pack.
Yeah.
If everyone was a great mechanic, nobody would need a great mechanic. You need to be great at something, and that's something that I recently am putting together, because I went to college. I went for a construction program, and now I work a utility job that I'm not passionate about, because I took the route that you're supposed to take, go to college.
You took the route that was presented to you, though.
It was presented to me.
Yeah.
I will say that. And I'm very grateful for it, because, I'm paid relatively well. I have a good job. I'm treated well there. But for me, life is deeper. Life is much deeper than that. So I'm on my way out. And in my time off, when I'm not making a podcast, I'm developing skills that I have a passion for and I want to get good at, because that's what life is about. Being exceptional, being an exceptional man. With that comes everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. I think being exceptional, being of use to people in general, you know, not just to yourself and to your family. I mean, of course that's important, but like that's just a way to make money in general, but also that's also a way to find fulfillment, is being of use to the world and being a contributing member.
Yeah.
Whether it's significant to some people, whether it's not, like, you know, you just want to feel important, not to get like emotional and shit, but I think everybody, especially men, want to just feel important and, you know, in need, I guess. Like kind of be like the superhero. It's like it's kind of why some dudes like to be a white knight, because they feel like, you know, oh, I'm saving them, or I'm, you know, helping and shit, while being a beta or whatever the fuck it is. But
yeah, it gives them purpose.
Because they don't feel any purpose without it, you know.
But you know, I don't usually speak for women because I'm not one, but women want to feel useful too. Like in No More Mr. Nice Guy, there was a section of it where he's talking about, he's like, honey, I just cleaned all the counters in the house and I did everything. Now you could just come home and relax. And she was angry because he
took her job.
She's at no use. He's too good. So you just sit there with your hands like this and you're like, you know,
the fuck do I do now, you know?
People, anyone wants to feel useful. Because if you're not useful, you're useless. That's the worst thing.
It was funny because I was speaking to one of my clients the other day about how old people will like do shit like, you know, mow the lawn still, or just do random shit just to like, again, be useful and like have something to do, because once you stop, you die. You know? And honestly, it's so weird how true that is, because as soon as you see somebody give up or like just kind of be like, all right, I'm old. That's why some people will like work until they're 80 or some shit. Not because they need the money and like they're struggling, but because they just want to fucking keep going, because like the fuck else are you gonna do with your time?
That's why old men tend to be way more miserable than old women, because old women, this is gonna sound really sexist, but I don't care. You could still cook and clean your house when you're old. You know, like especially that generation of women, it's not like they were passionate about careers. You know, they still get to stay at home and raise grandchildren and make them stuff.
That's right.
The old man misses his buddies from his career 20 years ago that he, you know, half of them are dying or dead. He really can't do physical labor like he used to in the yard. It's like, what do you do? Watch TV. And then, like, especially that generation, you're not bred for that. You're not bred to sit inside. But now it's like, you know, you don't really have an option. So I feel for older people like that. And that's why they, you know, they like to talk so much, because they live through you when you're young. Because they'll never get to do that again. And on a really deep note, life is just an experience. While we work so much towards being exceptional and being great, which is the main thing, you still want to do fun activities, because if you spend your whole life working, you know, you're going to turn around one day and like, man, I never got to do that. Like, I never went on that vacation that I always wanted to go on. I just stayed inside, stayed in my, you know, my state with the same people, and I never expanded. And that's a horrible, it's a terrifying thing to live like that.
I guess so.
You want to experience life, man. Like there's so much out here.
I mean, I definitely agree with you. You want to experience life, but I can't help but to think about the people that just find so much enjoyment in their work. Like when you hear Alex Hormozy fucking talk about business and shit, that dude like can talk for days, and he loves that shit.
He does love it. That is true.
And it's like, I'm sure that he could stay home and just work all fucking day and really be happy, and that's his experience. And like, we can't exclude those types of people, because sometimes I feel like that, where it's like, I'd rather be working now, than fucking going out or going out to eat and shit like that, just because like I find more enjoyment in doing that,
Yeah.
So it's like,
and I definitely do too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of times I'll force myself out of the house, and a lot of it has to do with maintaining some form of social circle and stuff like that. But yeah, genuinely, I'd rather be working most of the time.
Yeah.
But then there's also a side where it's like, yo, if it's your boy's birthday and he invites you out, you want to be there.
That's
because those are memories.
Yeah, those are memories. Those are different circumstances.
But think about like, me and him went out a lot senior year.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'd never trade that time to go sit at home and work.
No.
Yeah. So there's two sides of it.
Yeah.
For sure.
But that's always the exception, because like you're my boy.
Yeah.
And like if it was replaced with somebody else, then I may say I'd rather
stay inside.
I'd rather stay inside.
Yeah.
But because it was with you, it's more so the people that you surround yourself with, and like, who's in the memories. It's kind of like pause, but like home is where the heart is type shit.
Yeah. It's for sure too. And the thing is, man, it's not so much what you're doing, it's who you're doing it with.
Yeah.
I've been at parties with people I didn't fuck with and had a horrible time.
Yeah.
And I've been like just us making music,
doing shit like this,
and I would take that over that any day.
100%.
100%. And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
And a big part of life too is just everything you do here is temporary.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it bothers me when people are really against having kids, which to each his own, do what you want. Just remember, like, that's your only way to be immortalized. Your business will go, unless, it's passed down, whatever, but it's going to be in somebody else's name.
Yeah.
As men, like, we spread our last name. That's the only way you continue after this.
Yeah.
And so what I was saying though, it's the impact you leave on people that sticks, because somewhere along the line, if you give them a good piece of advice or just some peace of mind, maybe one day they'll, inhabit that from you and spread it on to someone else. And that's the way we improve as a society.
Yeah.
Is that, and being exceptional so you could help people and be useful.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's very insightful.
Yeah, type shit. Word, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Damn. Gonna wrap this up?
Yeah, I think this was really good.
It was really good. We didn't write anything for this shit. I just straight off the dome.
Off the dome.
Drop the beat.
Type shit.
Freestyle. All right. Well, if you made it this far, thank you for tuning in.
If you made it this far, you probably need some friends, but we could be your friend for today.
Yeah, you can pretend to be my friend. I probably don't really fuck with you like that. Me and I don't really like people and shit.
Yeah.
But, if you like run into us on the street and you're like, yo, I watch your podcast, I'll be like, get away from me.
Yeah.
But, good job.
Don't touch me, peasant.
Yeah, fuck off, peasant. Anyway, you guys are all inferior to me. Have a very okay day. Go make something of yourself. And
Tune into
next
the next
time.
one. Yeah, tune into the
Yeah.
next one. It'll be soon. Yeah.
Thank you.